Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Keith and I are doing a discussion over Ivion, the Sun and the Stars. I believe this is our fourth? Fifth?
I don't know.
I don't remember how many
I
there
can't
are. I think this is our
four.
fifth one.
I can only count to 4.
Well, after 4 comes 5. If this is our fifth one. What's 5?
Yeah, dude, that doesn't make any sense.
I believe, so this is the one that I had originally demoed whenever I was first testing out the Ivion series at
This
Gen
is
Con.
the one that I originally watched get demoed.
Yeah, right? And I was like, this is the set that sold me on the system, and then I bought all the ones I had available at the time, and then I played The Hound and the Hare, and I was like, this fucking system sucks, I hate this game.
Fair.
Then we've now played a bunch of them, and it's so interesting because we've played the 3 from like season 2, and we're going backwards because this one was like one of their early season 1s, and it's almost interesting to kind of see how much they've evolved, like how much more complex the other characters.
And they are. I feel like this was probably one of the more entry. Like, it wasn't. This is pretty easy to pick up.
It's so, yeah, and this one's a good intro because it's so straightforward. Like, there's nothing there's nothing really complex with your base. Like, my character is like, if I counter you, you take 2 damage. And I just have a way to generate 2 mana. And you have a way to hold on to a lot of mana. So they kind of really set these 2 characters up to be like, well, you're probably going to have mana, which means you're going to be able to play your cards.
Yeah. And I did. My first turn, I emptied my hand.
It was disgusting.
And his health.
Yeah, I was like, oh god. And honestly, what's so funny is, because like I think, my first turn was like, I'm going to teleport as a cantrip for free because I get to start with 2. And I'm going to deal 10 damage to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. So it's going to be like that.
And I was like, 10 damage, that's cute.
That's the interesting thing is these characters, they just hit hard.
Yeah,
like,
they do. I mean,
it almost feels
I brought you to half in one turn.
It almost feels like that because they hit hard, like that you would think that there's not really any intricacy between them, but there really is.
Yeah.
Like, they did a really good job with both these characters of still having counters. Like, kind of, this feels like if anyone was to start the system, play this one.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because you're going to understand how counters work and how important they can be, the different types of disarm and stun and silence and all that, while also being able to do damage. But there's also cards, like in this deck, that would have been very, very nice to have, and it is... Where is it? I can't find it. I thought I saw it at the beginning.
There was a whole thing that I didn't
even
touch on with this character. I never used Enchanted Terrain because it just never came up.
Oh, right.
I was able to use Unleash a couple times, but that was the only keyword I was really able to access from what I drew.
Shooting Stars, I finally found it. It's attached to yourself at the start of your turn, deal 2 damage to each opponent. So it's just like, this is nice. Just a consistent 2 damage. Spell Steal is really cool if you can pop off a counter. It's like, man, because like, luckily with your Melt or whatever, where you were going to do like 12 damage by unleashing it, I was like, one, you couldn't do it because you were disarmed, but then I was like, oh man, if he does it again and he burns all of his stuff to counter it, then I can counter and steal that card, and I can reverse it on him.
There's one sorcery, it costs 4 mana, but as long as I'm uncontrolled and I have no mana, I gain mana.
That's gross.
So you're just constantly getting mana.
I like the idea of cantrips as well. Like, I like the use of a different action with the initiative.
Yeah.
Being like, do I want to use it to move? Do I want to use it to draw? Or do I want to use it to play the spell for free? But at the same time, if I use it to play a spell for free, then like I don't gain any mana. So you kind of want to use it on stuff that costs mana because you need to be able to gain mana. There's just like they're so like, well, this is your wizard and this is your sorcerer.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing more basic you can get in a game about dueling mages.
Yeah, exactly.
Than literally the 2 mage classes.
And it felt like that. I mean, it felt we were always a space away from each other.
Right.
Never got all up in each other's faces. It was very much just placement and attack.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something that's like, you're going to be maneuvering around the board a lot and positioning matters, probably not going to get it in this one as much because we both have range and we both have the Archmage has more range.
I think all of my attacks were range 2.
Range 2. Yeah. I think all of mine were 3. And what's interesting is there was a card, actually. It was one of the few that I can put on the board. That if I am standing in it, so it'd be a great opening. Ley line. So make target empty tile enchanted terrain, then attach ley line to that tile. When you're in ley line, increase your card's range by 1. So if that's like you'd have 4 range, which is pretty much most of the board. But I mean, that's the thing though. It's like, okay, my range is increased by 1, but the problem is in this particular matchup, you're never gonna be far away from me.
Yeah.
Like that's a good card against someone else who is also equal.
Yeah,
at
also
range.
Yeah.
So it's like no matter where you go, I'm
so
gonna be able to
get
hit
the edge.
Yeah. I mean, it's like putting it here, for example, would be good because then you can literally hit at any position.
Anywhere, yeah.
But then you're also standing there, so if you place things like Chaos Storm, it's like, well, shit, now I need to move, so I have to find ways to destroy
Well, and that's one of the... There's a way that you could play this character and just push it on the ground.
Right.
Because he has, or she, or whatever, they have multiple with that card. There's another one that I saw on here. Let's see here. Wild Magic. Attached to target empty tile at the end of your turn, deal 3 damage to each enemy near Wild Magic. And then Chaos Orb, which gains the start and end of turn triggers of all non-Chaos Orb cards near it.
Okay.
So it's like, oh yeah, I could put, that there and then this here. And if you're here, you're getting hit by both of those
effects.
Yeah.
Right. Which is absolutely disgusting.
And then you can take it a step further and just... Let's see here.
Which I now see why this character starts with teleport.
Yeah.
It's like,
I need to not be here
I need
anymore.
to get out of dodge. Yeah. Which is very cool because, again, teleport can be used for free. Another Chaos Storm.
So it's just, 4, 8, 11 damage just because you're nearby and you're discarding 2 cards. This is active, so that's 2 more damage.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing with the Invoker is honestly your second wind. Being able to be like, I get to play a card for free.
And an immediate 5 damage.
Yeah. So it's like, if you're able to be like, I get to play this card now for free and I have 7 mana stored for my melt.
Yeah.
Then I'm just going to do that and
I'm just gonna
probably win.
Go through your whole health.
Yeah. Which is why the Archmage is like, it's like, if you're up against the Evoker, you want to just hold your hand with counters. Yeah. So, but if you don't draw counters, then it's like, well, because the Archmage is not able to outdo the Invoker in damage.
Yeah.
Like, they can do good damage.
They can do 1 good damage attack.
It's a lot of, like, I'm looking through this, and it's a lot of, okay, Unravel, like, I get to do a soft counter of disarming you, and it's like, okay, now your melt doesn't get to go off. Spell Steal, where it's like, their heaviest hit card is a 2-action, 4 mana cost, and it's deal 13 damage to each character near target tile. And then everything around it becomes enchanted. Yeah. Which enchanted is good because it gives you mana if you land on it.
The Archmage for sure seems like the counter class.
Right. So what's interesting is this. I think both of these characters could do super well in like the tournament that we're gonna do. But they don't feel OP. Mm-mm. Like I felt like.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they stack up against the other
the OP
characters.
Forest character.
Yeah.
Or the OP Paladin.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, that's cute. I'm going to use all my god tier relics.
Yeah.
Here's the Holy Grail that I drink from and can't take any damage the whole game.
Yeah. What?
Why is that a card? Yeah, sorry, I just get to use all these relics.
Here's my sword that one hits your class.
My Disintegration sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'm very excited because this one, again, while it's not my favorite of the system, I still very much enjoy it for its simplicity. Yeah. Like, this is one of those where it's like, yeah, I got wiped. Like, this disparaging of damage is 14. But, we've seen worse. What was the force to the chick was like 30 to 0. It was like some... Yeah. It's like, I'm going to heal. I'm going to deal damage. You can't get to me. I'm going to keep healing. Mm-hmm. even though it was 14-0 in this match, I could see it swinging another way, just depending on how the cards come out.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it, though. Like, I really don't have much negatives. Like, there's not a whole lot of...
I think this was the most straightforward.
It very much is.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to get into the system, I would say this is definitely the best one to start with.
I agree.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what are you going to give it?
Throw it an 8.
8?
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's great.
It is good.
It is really I can't call it perfect because I just don't think... I don't know if these have the capacity to be perfect because it's just that randomness in them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's great. It's fun.
Yeah. I'm probably at a 7 on this one. I think for me, it's like... Because the characters aren't necessarily my play style, which is a great thing about Ivion is you have classes that can be your play style. But I'm not really one for just I'm just gonna sit here and hit you from a range away and just do flat damage. I'm gonna do 10 damage. So yeah, that sounds kind of cool, but it's like, well, that was super easy for me to pull off. I didn't feel like I did a lot of things to earn that. It was like I just did it. But that's my personal thing. But I still think this is a really good one to start with.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's it. That's our thoughts on the Sun and Stars. Let us know what you think of it in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.